The chicken coop is gonna get a much needed makeover. This coop was here when we first moved here, and a friend of ours actually built this run. But now that we've been living with this run for a few years and have had chickens for a while, I need to redo this and make it more efficient for my girls. And me, because cleaning this is a bitch. There is a new coop on the way, and I'm gonna rebuild the chicken run. But meanwhile, the girls are gonna need to go somewhere safe. So I set up a temporary little run and coop area for them to be while I rebuild the other coop and run. She's cute, she's nice. I put some hardware cloth here so little creatures can't dig in. Moved one of the other coops over here so some of them have a place to sleep here. And built another little coop for the other ones to sleep in here. Again, this is temporary, but I think they're really gonna like it in here. We'll see. Today's moving in day. First we got Vero. Let's see what she thinks.
Ooh, this is nice.
Next we have Speckle. They're looking a little rough. They are molting.
Oh, Billy and the goat. Oh!
Next up is Daisy.
Where am I?
They're loving the grass. They're loving the grass. Next up is our HBIC, Opal.
Do you know you have 30 minutes? Are you kidding me? 30 minutes.
We got Daenerys.
I am Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, of the blood.
Got Jade. She is definitely not happy about this. We got Ruben. He is not used to being held, so he is stressed. But it's all right, Baba. It's all right, baby. See? That wasn't so bad. Last but not least, Olive. You excited, Bubbas?
Oh, you can't find this in the store. This is customized.
Well, that went smoothly. They're digging it. Enjoy your temporary crib. It's time to deconstruct our chicken coop. Guess what's finally arrived? The new chicken coop. I love it. It's a really cute little Dutch frame, and it has all these really cute little features. I mean, first off, it's got a window. Here's their little door so they can make their way out. There is gonna be a ramp, but since I haven't actually finished building the run, I'm gonna add that on later. We have a bunch of beautiful and clean new nesting boxes so we can expand our flock and get more ladies laying. Love what happened on the inside. We got an epoxy floor so that it's much easier to clean. The roof is insulated. And they're just gonna be living in style. This side over here can actually come down to help ventilate the coop so that the girls can breathe. I am so excited that the coop is here. Now we can actually start building the run, because I wanted to wait for the coop to get here so that I can actually build the run around the coop. So now that it's here, we can get to building. To build the actual run area, I am going to be using cedar. It is rot resistant and very beautiful in color, so I think it'll last a really long time. But before actually using the wood, I am going to stain it because it's going to be much harder to do once everything is built. I'm just going to get it out of the way now. I am staining the cedar to essentially add an extra layer of protection. I am using a red wood colored stain to really amplify the natural color of the cedar. Now I am going in and using these really dense metal stakes, and these are going to be the supports for my columns. It took longer than I thought, but I managed to get all of the columns up. Next, it was time to get up all of the cross beams and really start piecing together the chicken run. Now, a quick disclaimer, I am no professional. I have never built anything like this, but I do consider myself pretty handy. The inspiration here was to not necessarily build something that looked too modern. I wanted a vintage, medieval vibe, essentially building a palace for my chickens. Here's Mama helping out with the painting. We had a lot of cross beams go up, so now we were able to focus on more of the aesthetic details like this lattice work. At this point, it's really starting to come together and I'm getting so excited. Honestly, at this point, I am just making it up as I go, but something I really wanted to have was a chicken tower. So I constructed this frame so I knew exactly where to put the support columns. And I got so excited because it was like the vision was coming to life, y'all. Okay, I'll shut up now. Just enjoy watching me build this and adding the final touches. Oh, me again. Now that the actual tower was complete, it was time for one of the most important things, adding the actual barriers and protection for my chickens. I opted for this fencing to go around the walls and the ceiling as well. I tried doing the chicken wire, but it was so frustrating to work with, and this was so much easier to lay on. It's very sturdy. I did end up opting for the chicken wire on the very top of the tower because the last thing I want is a hawk swooping in on my chickens. It was such a pain laying this on though because it's such a unique shape, but we got it done. Now that that was done, I really wanted to make sure that on a ground level my chickens were absolutely secure. I know that lattice was not strong enough to withhold any predators on its own, so I got a ton of hardware cloth and added a layer of that behind the lattice on one side, on actually both of the edges and closer to the actual chicken coop. I dug trenches to dig the hardware cloth into the ground. I should also mention that previously in the old run, under all of this mulch, there's actually a layer of chicken wire there as well. So there's that added protection so things can actually dig into the run. Things are looking really good at this point. I should also mention that there's going to be a very thick layer of mulch in this run as well. So you see those gaps underneath the lattice, a lot of that's going to be under a thick layer of mulch. At this point, we are nearing completion of the chicken run. The final step was to build their door. One of my biggest struggles with the old chicken run was the door was very flimsy. I wanted a true farm style door, one that was really wide, had 2 different openings so that I can open the top layer and throw in some scratch, and that extra width so it would be easier to get in and actually clean this run. Y'all, look at these doors. I really ate that up. The final step was positioning the coop in its final place and moving in the chickens. Oh my gosh, we're in. Now, there are still a lot of things I want to do in the run to really wrap things up aesthetically. But for now, at this point, we were getting our first wave of really cold temperatures. So I wanted to get the chickens in here so they had a really nice warm place to stay. I am obsessed with how the run turned out. They have so much more room, it is a lot more accessible, and I cannot wait to really spruce this up. Stay tuned for like a proper chicken tour so you can see all of the final additions that I make. I would really love to hear what you all think. With the dismantling of the old run and coop, this took about 3 weeks to complete. The coop itself, along with delivery, was about $4,000, which I actually think is really affordable for a strong, sound, insulated structure. On top of that, it was about an extra $2,500 for the cedar wood and other materials. Overall, I spent close to $7 grand to rebuild this chicken coop and run. Now, I know that's a pretty penny to throw down, but after so many years in this space, I really wanted to give my ladies a proper upgrade and for the potential to actually expand my flock and add in some more hens. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave an abundance down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. See y'all soon.